Hello everyone, my name is MJB in 1080p, also known as 100% Get That Cash. And today I want to go over three of my favorite Note 5 cases. I got my Note 5 sitting right here, and I want to show you guys what I like when it comes to cases and why I chose these particular cases. The first case I want to show you guys is the iBlazin Halo Series Hybrid Clear Case. And what I like about it, it's a TPU case that's designed to provide some level of protection while not taking away from the look of the phone. It has a black border around the sides of the case, and there is a clear back that allows you to see the back of the Note 5, as you can see here. Now, there's some rubber edges that are like feet on the back of the case that allow you to set the phone down and not get any damage to the back of the case. Up next is the Spigen Neo Hybrid case. I really like this case because it offers great protection. It also has a two-part design. There's polycarbonate on the outside, like a bumper, and then on the inside, there's a rubber TPU. I like the metallized buttons here that you can use for the power and the volume rockers. They're actually quite tactile and provide a nice clicky feedback when in use. Up next is the Affinity case by Poetic. This is a clear, hard plastic case with a rubber TPU around the bezels. What I like about this case is that it's slim and it doesn't add too much bulk to your phone, while offering outstanding drop protection and not taking away from the look of your device. One thing I do want to note about these cases is the differences in the cutouts for the headphone, power, and S Pen. I really like the size of the S Pen cutout area for the Affinity case. It makes it very simple and easy to access your S Pen whenever you need to. I also want to point out that the size of the 3.5 millimeter headphone jack is large enough to accommodate all of my headphones and auxiliary cables. And I have no problem with the charging port either. Now, the Neo Hybrid, they chose to use like an oval design on the 3.5 millimeter jack, and I've had some problems using my auxiliary cables in my car. It'll get stuck in the case and I'd have to either force it in or force it out to get it out of the case. Now we're going to go ahead and put the phone inside of the case. I like to start with the volume buttons first. So I'll put those in and then I'll work my way down to the corner and then around to the other corner. And once I work that other corner in, I'll go ahead and go to the power button side and pop that in. Now that the phone's in the case, you can see that the case doesn't add any bulk to the phone. It still maintains its look, but it also provides some protection from drops on the corners and laying on the table. Now, I did drop this phone, and it landed right there, and it protected the phone just fine. There's no broken glass, just that scratch. But you can clearly see that it's a Galaxy Note 5, and it really doesn't take away from the look of the phone. I think this is a really cool case if you want to protect your phone, but you don't want to add a lot of bulk to the device. I'm going to go ahead and remove the case from this phone. I just start with the corners and then it just slides right out. And now we'll look at the Poetic Affinity case. I like this case because it really adds a lot of protection to the phone without the added bulk. It doesn't take away from the design of the phone. So I'm going to slip this in. We'll start with the volume side. Once we put the volume buttons in, we'll pop the bottom corner in, the other bottom corner, and work our way to the power button side. I'm going to push that in. And as you can see, it fits the phone quite nice while maintaining a slim profile. But it does add some protection to the phone from drops because of that TPU outer covering that's like a lay on the table design, because it has an edge that protrudes around the bezel of the phone. Now I'm going to lay that down, and you can see that it doesn't take away from the look of the phone. I mean, you can clearly see that this is a Galaxy Note 5. There is some logos on the case. and the Affinity branding is right there on the other side. One thing I really like about this case is the ridges that are along the spines of each side. It helps to keep the phone in your hand. The texture feels really good to hold, doesn't take away from how it feels. Now, also here at the top, on each corner, there's this cushion area for impact. So if the phone was to fall, they typically land on their corners. It helps to protect and put shock away from the device and send it through the case. Now, these are little black ridges. They help when you lay the phone down to protect the case from getting scratches on a table or a surface. I can tell that Poetic put a lot of thought into this case, and the reason why I say this is because of the cutouts at the bottom. I have no problem getting my S Pen in and out of this case because of the large opening. For a case that is rather small and adds no bulk, it has one of the largest cutouts that I've seen for easy access to your S Pen. Now we're going to go ahead and take a look at the volume rockers. I love how clicky and tactile they feel. This is probably the most tactile feeling case I've used for clicking my volume up and down and my power button. I have no problems whatsoever. Every time I click it, it works just fine. Now we're going to go ahead and take a look at the Neo Hybrid from Spigen. It's a two-part case. It has the polycarbonate outer bumper and then the rubber TPU interior. I really like that because it adds a lot of shock protection if you drop your phone. First thing you want to do is take off the polycarbonate bumper. We can set that to the side. Next, we're going to insert our phone into the TPU membrane. I just like to insert the top end first, then just kind of click the other corners in place. Now that we have it inside the case, we're going to go ahead and take the polycarbonate and we're going to start at the top. And once we get the top aligned, we'll just make sure that the TPU, the buttons are all aligned. We'll just squeeze those in and just make sure to check the top again, make sure that the polycarbonate is inside the TPU. And once you get those lined up, we'll go ahead and start on the volume side and we'll put that, clip that in and just slide our hands down until it clicks in place. Then we'll check the corners. From there, we'll make sure that there's no gaps. See, there's a gap there, so we're going to go ahead and click that in place. Once we get that clicked in place, make sure to check where the S Pen area is. Sometimes when people put this case on, they forget that little rubber membrane there. Now that we got the case installed, I really like the way this case looks on the phone. It doesn't take away from the design of the phone, but it adds a lot of protection. And I like those metal buttons. They really add a nice tactile feel. Looking at the bottom of the phone, we see the S Pen, the speaker grill, power, and 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. I like the back of the case. This carbon fiber look really looks nice, flanked by the rubber TPU on the side there. It really adds a great feel in the hand. The camera recess is nice. You can easily access the heart rate monitor without any problems. And the camera isn't protruding, so you can lay it on a table and not worry about that. Again, I like the clickiness of the buttons. Very responsive, though they're not as responsive as the Affinity case, but they are definitely nice and tactile. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that notification there. It's one of my buddies sending me a message. So you guys let me know what you think about these cases. I really like them all. They're great cases. The Spigen is a great value, and they make really good cases. So we're going to go ahead and remove the case. I like to start at the top corners and just kind of push the TPU off. Once we get one side off, we'll go ahead and start at the other top side, get that corner off, and now the phone will just pull out very easily. and that's the Neo Hybrid case. I want to thank you all for checking out my video. If you have any recommendations for a case I should check out next, please leave comments down below letting me know. And also tell me what's your favorite case and what case you want to see me rock next. Thank you for watching my video, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. And if you found my video useful, please leave a like. Y'all have a great day.